Here with ASU redshirt senior Adama Fall. And Adama, full transparency for the viewers out there. We met last week. I was working a side job. You were out on a commercial. I don't got to say who it was for at this point. They'll see it when it comes out one day. But I met you there and was like, you know what? Sun Devil fans need to know who Adama Fall is if they don't already. So, blanket statement, who is Adama Fall?
Well, you already said it. My name is Adama Fall. I'm from Senegal, West Africa. Came to the U.S. At the age of 12. I started playing ball in 7th grade, really. And, I'm just super grateful to be a Sun Devil, super grateful to be with my guys. And, yeah, I'm just somebody that works hard, brings hella energy and always shows up.
So your journey, in high school you end up playing football, you run track and basketball as well. What was it that sort of pushed you to sort of become the athlete that you became? Was that always your interest even as a little kid, or is that something that just kind of came to be?
Growing up in Africa, we used to play soccer a lot in the streets. Soccer was my first sport, so I was a goalie, and initially it was my first love. And then when I came to the United States, I got introduced to basketball, and so I became a Lakers fan, and I was like super inspired by Kobe Bryant, and just like his mentality. And to be honest, it kind of just gave me the attitude that maybe someday I could make it big as well. And then football was actually such a funny story. So while I was learning English, every day after school, I would run to the library. And one time, I was running to the library, and then this car, stops me, and turns out it was like one of the local coaches. He's like, "You're pretty fast," and then he invited me to a little practice to just come watch. And then from then on, I just fell in love with the sport.
Okay, so that became your passion. Football became your passion at that point. But you've got a lot of different interests. So I understand you're getting your master's degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that in again?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit somewhere else, and modeling is something that you've been curious in, and going down that path. I know your sister is. So, you have all these different interests, but how has football kind of given you that opportunity to, follow your passion in football, but also open doors in other areas of your life that you're interested in?
I think the best way to summarize it, when I was younger, I saw this commercial. It was talking about something about the world's most interesting man. Mm-hmm. And I've seen this commercial multiple times, but he was never doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I realized in life that doing one thing can open a door to another. And ultimately everything, you have to be a versatile human being, just like you have to be willing to be a versatile football player initially. Whether it's, when I came here, I found my identity in special teams, but all I cared about was bringing value and helping the team in a positive way. So I just kind of take it all in one step at a time, one opportunity at a time. I don't really like overthinking, nor do I identify with one. But I'm a football player that has an opportunity with both fashion. I love fashion because that's the inspiration I've got from my sister. And in terms of cybersecurity, that dates back to my grandfather, who was a Supreme Judge of Senegal. But he passed before I was born. But hearing his story, it inspired me to try and help the world become a better place. I just didn't want to do it as a judge. I wanted to do it more low-key. So
no, that's really cool and fascinating. So being able to start accomplishing those, here at Arizona State, I know you've been with the team for a few years. You're at U of A before then. I know that when walk-ons went away, you've kind of been able to be grandfathered in and stay here to continue that opportunity. You've also had different scholarships throughout. I know different programs you've been involved with. So what's it been like, just the help you've received here and the camaraderie with the guys and how that's guided you on the path you're on?
It's like, when I think about how grateful I am for the people here, just ASU in general, I can't even put it into words. I mean, there were so many people that helped me along my journey. It was not just me, and I will forever be grateful for them. And but it just makes the journey a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more worth it. I mean, when I got put on full ride, that was like everything. It was funny. I remember when I first came to college, being a walk-on, I would always try to imagine when and how would it look like when I got put on full scholarship. And when that moment comes, you can't even really put it into like perspective. You just kind of sit there and take it in. So yeah, I'm like eternally grateful. I mean, I love being a Sun Devil. You know, like this brotherhood that we have. You know, like I feel like oftentimes like when you find an identity in something, it really like I don't know, it drives like a new passion in you, and like so. Like I just love being a Sun Devil. Like I just love it.
And just having coaches that support all of that, from Coach Dillingham to Coach Regal on special teams, and the way that they've been able to continue to give you opportunities to grow and show yourself here and be able to become the man you want to be. What's it like? Because I think that's a rare thing to see in a program. A staff take so much care with those guys and making sure that you're growing, not just here in special teams and everything you're doing, but as a person as well.
I think I look like when I was at my old school. I don't even like to say the name for real. But when I was at my old school, I was there for a couple of years, and I've always kind of known that like working hard will eventually get you rewarded or like get you looked at. But Coach Dilly and Coach Regal were the first people to ever give me an opportunity on the football field, in the collegiate football field. I would have never had that opportunity. Like I said, and once I got that opportunity, I made special team my whole thing. It's a lot of most people don't come into college and try to jump on special team. It's not you're initially not the guy that's gonna get like all the praise and stuff, but I think it also represents who I am, but also the man I'm trying to be. It's to like sometimes like it's cool to just be part of something special, and you do whether it's blocking for somebody else to score. Like it's not about the praise, but it's all about us as a brotherhood, sacrificing for each other, sacrificing my body for somebody else to go score, and like that idea is just something that I embrace.
And one more thing away from football too. Out at Big 12 Media Day, I talked with Jordan Tyson and CJ Fight a little bit about their walk with faith. I saw you recently are one of the guys this year that got baptized. Yes. So what has it meant to you to have this brotherhood that's kind of helped lead you closer in your relationship to Christ, as guys that are on your same team that are just kind of following that same goal?
This is actually just, I guess, it just shows the type of human beings we have in this program. See, I didn't get close to Christ because I read about Christ or anyhow. I've always known about Christ. I grew up in a Muslim family, and when we used to read like the Quran and stuff, Christ was in it. But I think I got more inspired by the people that embodies Christ, but also try to live like Him, and it inspired me. And I realized I wanted to be more like those people, like in this program that really carried themselves in such a respectful and just like in a humble way. And I just used to show up and I would sit at the Bible studies. I would just sit there. I didn't have any agenda. I would just sit there, but also the more I sat down, the more I started listening, and like the Holy Spirit just speaks into you. And it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. Honestly, one of the most scariest because, again, my whole family is Muslim, and there was such a big barrier to kind of break through. But it's one of the best things to ever happen to me. Yeah.
And just, I guess just now, last thing here, heading into this season with everything that you've experienced the last couple of years here, holding a Big 12 championship trophy. I know that's long in the past now, and you're looking forward to doing it again. What are you most looking forward to your swan song here in college football?
I would more so now I'm leaving it better than I found it. Whether it's a couple of words, speaking life into the younger guys. Like we got a lot of, for example, in the safety room, we got Chris Johnson, Tony, Tommy, Kyan, Skoron, Ben, and just like really just kind of being a big brother to them, and just kind of, I may not have the experiences on defense, but I know I've had plenty of experiences, and I understand what it's like to be a young guy, just trying to get your stripe. And really, so now I'm more so focused on, I guess, legacy, living the Sun Devil brotherhood better than I found it, and just speaking life into others. And yeah, so that's more so how I want to be remembered, you know, because I feel like the work is going to take care of itself in terms of football. You know, I would always bring it, and you can always count on me, so I'm not worried about all that. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the most interesting man in the world. This might be one of the most interesting Sun Devils on the team right now. Fans, you'll see him, you know, on special teams, on kickoffs and everything, and you might see him on your TV screens here soon as well.
Sounds
in
good.
commercials. So that's Adama Fall. Thank you.
Thank you so much.